Clive, Kefrot, and your team, distinguished guests in your respective capacities, ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm very happy to welcome you here at Uganda House this evening, where you have come to interact with the Kefrot team to discuss about real estate and investment in general in Uganda. I have known Mr. Clive, the proprietor and founder of Uganda Heights, for the last 2 years. What we share in common is that we do not give up. When I met him in 2014, this project he's going to tell you about was in the conception stage. Now, as he will tell you later, it is up and running. Well done. He and his team will tell you more details on the project. I think my duty is to inform you about the investment environment in Uganda. Uganda, popularly known as the Pearl of Africa, is one of the most beautiful countries on this planet, and definitely the most beautiful in Africa. For those of you who have never been to Uganda, you need to go there, and then you can prove me wrong, right or wrong. But I think you will prove me right, because the great Winston Churchill saw it that way, and I think he didn't go wrong. I will talk about a few issues. Let me start with stability. Some of the issues which worry investors about some of these developing countries, Uganda inclusive. Let me start with stability. As far as stability is concerned, Uganda is one of the most stable countries in Africa. I cannot say in the world, I say in Africa. There used to be a war in the north by the Lord's Resistance Army for almost 20 years, but that has been disposed of, and that part is now stable, and they are now embarking on development, because they lagged behind because of that war. Some people, strange enough, think that Idi Amin is still in Uganda. And they fear what could happen to them when they go there. Idi Amin died long ago, and the damage he created has been repaired, because Uganda has been stable for the last 30 years. What about the economy? The economy of Uganda is growing fast and is stable. For the last 2 decades, the growth, the GDP, has been averaged at 6%. I think that is healthy. And the middle class is growing. It is now estimated at about 40%, and that creates good market. What about the politics? The country has just conducted general elections in February 2016, in which the National Resistance Movement Party, led by His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, won with a great majority, and has been given, people has given them power to rule for the next 5 years. This creates stability for trade, investment, and development. The opposition party, like most opposition parties in many developing countries, did not take this quietly. You probably had a lot of noise, but fortunately, they have also now realized that the important thing is to settle down and develop the country. What about markets? As for markets, Uganda has a population of 36 million people. That is good market for internal market, but it doesn't stop at that. Uganda is landlocked, a problem that used to worry us for a long time. You know, being landlocked, we have to depend on the mercy of Kenya, we could not say anything bad about Kenya in case they close that route. But of recent, we have realized that actually that problem could be turned into an opportunity. We are land linked, which means all these many countries surrounding us are creating good market for us. For example, Uganda is a member of the East African community, now with a total population of over 145 million people. And that was before South Sudan joined recently. So the population is higher, and that is more market. And Uganda is a member of other blocs, COMESA, African Union, and others. What is the investment environment in Uganda? I'm sure you'll be interested in that. There is a very conducive environment for investors in Uganda. In fact, the government of Uganda has divested themselves from business in order to build a private sector-driven economy. This is why the government created the Uganda Investment Authority in 1991 to promote and facilitate private investment and also provide aftercare for investors, which is very important. It acts as a one-stop center for investors, assisting them in registration, licensing, access to land, and other such important things. Ladies and gentlemen, it would be remiss of me if I ended without talking about one sensitive area, and that is corruption. Let me also talk about it. Although many people shy from it, but it is a cancer that we cannot hide. I wish I could tell you that there is zero corruption in Uganda, but I will not be telling the truth. The corruption is there, but it is not as high as the media, as it is hyped in the media. And also, knowledge is power. If you know about it, you can avoid it. Most people who are conned are the ones who are not aware or who refuse to follow the proper guidelines. I will give you an example. An investor, and this is where I was told about it, I believe it's true. An investor went to Uganda, and he didn't go to Uganda Investment Authority as he should, because that is the first stop an investor from outside should check. He went there, and he wanted the ABCD, and in addition, he wanted land. Land can be obtained depending on what you are going to do. Not every investment can give you access to land, but some of the critical investment, they can give you land. So he wanted land. As he was sitting there, waiting for the officer to come and attend to him, a gentleman approached him, asked him, what is it that you are looking for? He told him, he said, oh, don't waste your time here. I can help you. I can get you land quicker and cheaper. So the investor got off with that man whom he didn't know. So when the officer came and he didn't find him, he said, well, maybe he's not tired of it. So this man was sold land that was, the one who was selling the land was not his. So he bought the land, paid the money, only in the end to find that actually he had been sold what they call in Uganda air. He had bought air, which is free. Now he bought it, his money, and he was very upset, of course. So definitely, if you want to go private and you approach people you don't know, you can easily be conned. And I think this is true everywhere, in every big city. Let me end with the opportunities in real estate investment in Uganda, which I believe is what brought you here. And the opportunities are huge. About 7 million housing units are required nationwide in Uganda, and of those, about 6 million are available, leaving a shortage of about 1 million units. As you are aware, we discovered oil and gas in the mid-2000s, and the development in that area is huge. We are building new cities. The infrastructure development that's required, you cannot even finish it. In addition, the hospitality industry is growing fast to feed our tourism sector. More hotels are required, more restaurants, more meeting facilities. So the real estate sector in Uganda, the need for real estate investment in Uganda will not be satisfied in a very short time. So the potential is huge. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for sparing time from your busy schedules to come and interact with Clive and us, really, because when you invest in Uganda, the Uganda Mission and the High Commissioner will get a big tick. So we are helping Clive, but Clive is helping us. So, and we hope you also be helped in the process. So I thank you very much for sparing time to come. I thank Clive and his team for choosing Uganda as one of their investment destinations. I thank you for good and